Hey, everyone! Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Not here with, not here with the best news, guys. Not here with the best news. Article from the good people over at Metal Sucks. Shout out to them. They usually put out some pretty good stuff. And this is one article of many. A lot of coverage on the internet has been coming out about this. Gibson Guitars has announced that they're not bankrupt right now, but they have announced that they are struggling. They are in financial trouble, and they have recently released a somewhat positive, somewhat forward-looking statement on the financial future of the company and the things that they're going to do to try to save the company. This whole statement and this press release, in a way, could just kind of be an effort on their part to let people know what's going on, just in case maybe an investor wants to jump in and maybe help out and save the company. But from what I'm reading here, it seems like the company is in a lot of debt, which they're going to need to restructure. The link to this article, which also links to the statement over here, is down there in the description box. But here's the thing. We talk a lot about, in the millennial generation and the current musical landscape, about the relevancy of rock and guitar music in general. And sure, while we are seeing rock a little bit on the downturn on the charts, well, not even a little on the downturn, a lot on the downturn on the charts. And we talk about rock just not being quite as popular in the underground as it used to be. There are going to be real life effects of that, not just in that you're seeing less popular rock bands, you're not seeing as many rock bands around, but you're actually seeing the infrastructure that would provide the tools to create that kind of music start to fracture a little bit. Now, I'm not an expert on what it takes to run a guitar manufacturing company. Obviously. However, I have to imagine that that has to contribute to what Gibson is dealing with at least a little bit. I don't know if other guitar companies are suffering the same fate, or are they having the same difficulties. Is Fender having the same issues here? Is Ibanez having some similar issues here with their company? I haven't seen statements from them saying so in how I'm seeing Gibson here, but the thing is, Gibson is a pretty legendary company, like amazing trademark and game-changing guitars. Some of my actual favorite guitars are Gibson guitars. And I don't just mean favorite guitars of like, oh, I'm a guitarist and I play guitar, la, 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 la. Like, I play a little bit, but when I say favorite guitars, I mean some of my favorite, some of the, in my opinion, the best sounding guitars in the history of guitars have been Gibson guitars, like the fucking Les Paul, the sustain, the clear, ringing, beautiful sound that typically comes out of a great Les Paul, the SG. One of my favorite guitars ever. Frank Zappa played an SG. I own one myself. I love the fat, heavy, chunky sound that typically comes out of an SG. I mean, you could also say the Flying V. Not a Flying V guy myself, but they've made a lot of legendary, game-changing guitars, as I've said. And it would be really sad to see the company go under because, damn. Like that's a pretty significant moment in music history when one of the most important companies in music history, which, I mean, it could be argued that Gibson has contributed more to music and specifically rock music than any guitar company out there. Certainly more, if not as much as Fender, you know? I mean, Fender has definitely had like a lot of groundbreaking moments, but and being a bassist myself, I have to certainly acknowledge that nothing in my opinion really kind of beats a great Fender bass. I mean, Rickenbackers are cool, but a great Fender bass. But man, it would be really sad to see Gibson go under. And I mean, I guess if it ended up doing that, that would just kind of be a sign of the times in a way. But I don't know, man. I feel like some people have asked me over the years. They've said, "Hey, man, are you ever gonna do a follow up on that video? Like, where's rock going? What's the state of rock right now? You're looking at it right fucking now. This is happening. I can't imagine if rock music was at the top of the charts and people were just fucking anybody could fucking sell a guitar out of the ass. That Gibson would be going through this right now. I mean, I can't imagine that this is just as a result of just a bunch of bad decision making. Did they pay a bunch of CEOs too much? Did they take out too much debt that they couldn't pay back? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not really sure what the entirety of all of their decisions are because, again, I'm not running the company. I'm not looking at their tax statements or anything like that. But it's got to be tough out there if one of the most legendary guitar companies is struggling financially. I'll say that. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or hit up the link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one forever.